everybody. Welcome to a Quickie with Ms. B. I'm Ms. B. Today is Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about you built what? In this case, your house. Okay, John, I found a house just for you.
Or she says I want to take a drink of coffee. Spit it out because she's losing her mind now.
This will drive your OCD to the next level.
No.
It's called the Crooked House.
Oh, gosh.
There is nothing on here that I can see that has a straight structure.
Oh.
Windows are crooked, doors are crooked. Roof is crooked, the roof line is crooked.
Yep, no, thank you.
I think I should check that one out. Just saying.
It's hard enough in an old house for me to deal with. My house was built, back in the late 1800s, and it's hard enough when they try to do retrofitting of things. They put plugs in where they can, so you have a plug on the far right-hand side of the room. You're like, well, why? But why is it? Why can't it be in the middle? And they're like, well, there's because the walls are made of like 6x6.
Yeah.
So it's not like 2x4s aren't part of this, and they go from the first floor to the roof.
Yeah.
One piece of wood, hand hewn. You're sitting going, oh God, it drives you nuts.
I would imagine the Crooked House would be much the same way.
Yeah.
But to do it on purpose, though, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Call it the OCD Hotel. Can I get another room? Sure, they're all the same. Not really.
Okay, the next one's called Stone House. It's a house literally made out of big boulders, big stones, big giant rocks.
Now, see, I live in Maine, which now I'm going, so I got 9 of those around me.
Well, it's like three big round boulders, and then slap a roof on it and put a chimney on there.
Well, we don't have that. Ours are primarily made of what they call river rock, not little stones, but like rocks that are the size of bowling balls.
No, this is way bigger.
And they build the walls right out of those.
Yeah, no, this is like a big, giant, gihugical boulder that's in the ground.
and you use that word in a sentence. It's a gihugical. Look it up, people.
How do you get windows in there? Oh,
so
wow.
So it's just 3 giant rocks that they had to chisel the house out of and put a roof on it. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But like the one end is completely round. It looks like yeah.
All of us knew what you were trying not to say.
Just saying. Sorry. Well, if that one's too much for you, there's a low impact woodland house. That's kind of built. Yeah, it's kind of built like in the ground, but it's made out of wood. It's like it's in the side of a hill.
Yeah,
so all you can
for a long time.
Almost like an underground house, but it's not completely submerged underground. That would drive me nuts.
Well, see here they call it a half. Actually, the name of it in Maine is called a half walkout basement.
Oh, you know what I thought you were going to say? A half wit.
No, that's who bought it.
Yeah.
No, we call them half walkout. In other words, it's a basement. Yeah. Now up here, I don't know. You guys have you have a basement in your house, okay?
Yeah.
So imagine only 3 sides of the basement are in the hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen those.
If you build the house on a hill, only 3 sides of the building can be in underground if you built on a hill. So one side's not, so it's called a half walkout basement.
But this is a whole entire house that they just shoved in the side of the hill.
And they have tens of, what's funny is that they have tens of thousands of those all over America, and you don't know that.
No.
Let's all point at Christine and laugh. They're called dugouts.
Well, have you seen a conch shell house?
No. A what?
A conch shell. You know,
okay,
like those.
Good. You pronounced that very good. I'm glad. The one time I was terrified that you were going to have an OCD slip up there, you did.
What did you think I was going to say? A naughty word?
I don't know.
A conch. Isn't that what it is? A conch shell.
You did it right, yes.
Yeah.
No, I've not seen a conch shell house.
Oh my God. So, like, the roof is all prickly. You know how they have the... the prickly part of the conch shell.
Oh, the spines, right. I'm not quite sure how to visualize prickly. I can say, the spines that are all over a conch shell, that's what's on the roof. I can say that. But the roof is prickly.
Well, at least it's not whimsical.
I know. I'm still trying to figure out that shape. Or a square hourglass.
This one's white. A white colored conch.
All conchs are white.
On the outside?
Inside of them, they're pink.
No. Oh, even the bathroom's got seashells in there. Okay, and a conch shell. You used it for like a water fountain. Or not a water fountain. What do you call it?
It's called a sink.
Yeah, the tap where the water comes out. Whoa, struggle bus today.
It's that thing that's on the bottom of a car. It goes round. What do they call those? Wheels. Oh, yeah, okay.
And while I go figure out how the wheels on the bus go round and round, we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to A Quickie with Ms. B. If you missed the first half of the show, please go back and check it out. Boy, I was struggle bussing it there. Words were just not flowing like water, let me tell you. Just saying.
Don't forget, all the schools are calling home now to make sure parents put the ads in those books. You know the ones, they put the kids in it and stuff.
Oh, yeah, the yearbook.
Oh, yeah.
What we're referring to is yearbooks.
Yearbook.
No. Okay. This would be a house that I think I would be thoroughly confused trying to live in. It's called cubic houses.
Cubic houses.
Yeah. Like back in the day when, I don't know what they call them in your neck of the woods, but like sheep sheds where they're all connected in a row. Okay, yeah, row house. You call them row houses. I call them
houses, they're all connected in a row. You mean row houses?
Not like a whole city block. They're just like four.
Oh, you mean like several buildings on a like a home in a home area there, or like we have in Maine, we have what we call big house, middle house, little house, barn. That's literally what they call it. So you can imagine the big house is right here, but attached to it is like a smaller version.
Oh no, these are just
attached to that is another smaller version, and then attached to that is a giant barn. So they call them big house, middle house, little house, barn.
No, it's all the same size, structure wise. But they're attached. They're not semi attached. They're all attached. Why can't I talk today?
Because you're Miss Bomey.
Anyways, these houses are attached to one another, but they're in the shape of cubes. So if you can imagine like giant sized Rubik cubes, all attached to one another, but
okay.
Yeah.
You just lost me there. A giant Rubik cube attached to another Rubik cube is a square.
Yeah, but they're like it's not like square. They tip it so it's diamond shape. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm struggling.
So they take the square, they put it up on the point of one of the sides of the square.
Yeah, they do this with several buildings.
Okay.
And they're all attached to one another. And they're all the same color. So how in the heck would you know which house is yours?
You know, it'd be fun if you could actually do a Rubik's Cube apartment complex. So each one of the squares was an apartment.
I wonder if somebody thought about building that.
And when you pull up to it in the parking lot, you're looking at a giant Rubik's Cube. You can just tell your friends, I'm on the yellow top. Middle. That would be interesting.
Okay, well, let's go to something a little bit more simpler since I'm having trouble describing. A floating home. A floating house.
Home?
Home.
What's a home? Are you hoity-toity now? I got my regular house, but on the ocean I have a floating home.
I couldn't decide which way to go with that one.
It's not a house. It's not a home. It's a home.
It's a home. Yeah, it's a floating home. Man. So
I'm amazed sometimes. They're like, houseboats have been around forever, and there are millions of houseboats, and you're like, it's a house on a boat. It's a floating home.
It doesn't look like a boat. It looks like an actual house.
I know. I think it's Sweden, perhaps Sweden or Scandinavia, where they're huge. I mean, they have entire cities.
Big, huge one. And you know what the price is for this? And I think this is crazy.
They're big.
$3.45 million.
Yeah,
dude.
They actually build these special. It's like pylons, but they're not attached to the bottom. And they put them all underneath it. They build a huge platform, and they literally build the house on top of the platform. The platform is floating.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a house on this platform.
And they tie them, and then they tie them together. Like your house ties to the next guy's house, and it becomes a structure, like a city structure.
Oh, this one's parked at a dock. Or, I don't know what the term. I said it! It's sitting on the dock.
Nah, this is parked at a dock. John doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'm just telling you, it's by itself. It's standing alone.
What was that part I said where they attach them to the platforms? What is that platform there? Is that a dock?
Well, it's by itself. It's not. There's no other in this particular picture.
I'm sure they didn't just tie it with ropes to the dock. It's probably fashioned to the dock.
What? Fasteners? What?
Yes.
Gigantic fasteners to the dock?
Yes.
How do you what?
Yeah.
Would you just go to the Fastenal store and buy it?
No, envision. You know what a U-bolt is? You know what a small one is? A U-bolt shaped like a U. And now imagine one that's 3 inch, 3 inches around, and they heat it and it's bent and it's threaded. Now when you move the house up to that dock area, all right, those pylons that are driven in, you attach there. They put rubber around them, and then they put the U-bolt over the rubber so it doesn't make squeaking sounds and all, but it can actually move up and down with the water rising. They do that all the way across the dock, and that's how they fashion your home to that dock so it doesn't float away.
Oh gosh. So explain to me how the plumbing works.
It's all self-contained in the house, but then there's an exit and an entrance on flexible lines.
All your pee and poo is still in your house after you
go? No. It goes into the house and it's pumped out through a flexible line. Think of an art. No. Listen. You know this. You just don't know that you know it. Now I'll explain what I mean by that. RVs. You're driving around with the poop in it? Yep. How do you get rid of it? You pull up and pull out your flexible line and you put it into the drain. Same principle. That house has a self-contained waste system with a flexible line that goes ashore. And it's flexible so it can move and won't break.
Well, can you imagine if it did break? You'd have poo all over the...
All the great things I just said to her, and she's like, but what if it breaks? What if it breaks? It's funny if it breaks. Yeah, let's talk about... It'd be like a whale.
I just said, that would be one crappy mess.
All that just to get to there. Okay. Take the long way home.
Things that make you go, according to Ms. B.
I think you need wine.
Lots of it.